Okay, thank you very much. So I'm Jens Baron von Waze, product manager, and based in Tel Aviv. And I want to start to introduce you to Ehud. Ehud is one of the founders of Waze, and he came up with the initial idea of Waze, which happens 2006 when he got two surprises to his birthday. One was from his wife. He got this nice iPad, which is a GPS device with internet connectivity. And he got also a speeding ticket from the police because he ran into a speed trap. So what Ehud was doing over the next weekend was sitting on his balcony and developing a little app by using a public available online map, and you could report speed cams, their speed traps. So he was more or less the guy who developed the first Blitzer app. And he did this, and he gave it to a small community, and they started to collect all speed traps in Israel, and it took him 2 weeks till all of these speed traps were collected. And this could have been the end of the story, but what happened then was that he got a letter from an Israeli ministry tell him that he has to shut down his app because he's using a public available map which is not hosted in Israel and which is not legal to do. So what Ehud thought then was, okay, it took me 2 weeks with a handful of people to collect all speed traps in Israel. How long will it take me to draw my own map with all these people? And this is how they started, and all the crowdsourcing idea of having a crowdsourced map and a crowdsourced navigation system started. And this was in 2006. And it was done open source first, and the Waze as its brand itself was then founded in 2008. 2009, we launched in the US, 2010 in Europe, France and Italy. 2011 was a big step because we launched Waze for TV. So we gave TV stations our map, our data available for traffic reports. 2012, Waze in Brazil, and in 2012 was also the year of the launch of Apple Maps, which you remember was a little disaster for Apple, and Tim Cook publicly recommended us to use Waze because there was no Google Maps anymore on the iPhone. And 2013 we have been acquired by Google, and since 2013 we launched a Connected Citizen program. This means we work together with governments and municipalities worldwide. And this year, we launched Waze 4, which is the new UI of Waze. And, oops, this was now too fast. Wait. The toothbrush test. The toothbrush test is something from Larry Page came up with. And this is a test he's doing to find out if a service is worth to invest by Google in it. And this means, the toothbrush test means it must be a service which you use at least every day once or twice, and it has to make your life better. And this is something Waze definitely do, because it's not only a navigation app, it's a driving app. It's something people use every day of the commute to work, and our mission is that with every drive, we save the user 5 minutes every day. So currently, we have more than 50 million active users per month, and each of these users is using the app in average in 402 minutes. And can we start this video? This here is a data visualization of Waze in different metropoles. You see every dot here is one Wazer, how we call our users, Tel Aviv, Rio, and let's say, for example, in Israel, we have more users than registered cars, just as an example. Go to the next slide. Yeah. So now next, I want to explain to you how Waze works in detail. And first, this is a typical situation in Waze. What you see here, the blue line, is the route we created. And obviously, normally you would just drive straight ahead, but there's a big traffic jam, so Waze routes you around this traffic jam, and this traffic jam we record because we know the speeds of our users, but also because they actively report jams, accidents, and you can see thousands of screenshots with examples like this if you search for the hashtag WazeWin. And this is a video about
With
our
Waze,
new UI.
you always get the fastest route, based on real-time traffic shared by millions of fellow Wazers. Navigating is super easy. All your destinations are one tap away. Once on the road, you'll be alerted before you approach incidents. You can help others too. By simply driving with Waze, you share real-time traffic information, or you can actively report. Oh, and when you're meeting others, simply send your ETA to inform on your arrival.
Okay. So, what you saw here it's one too far. Yeah. So you saw here in this short UI movie some examples. So one is that Waze is also a social platform where you can share your ETA, your estimated time of arrival with your friends, so they see when you really arrive. And also we have things like a smart reminder, so we sync with your calendar, and if you have a doctor appointment, we take in consideration the traffic on the road and notify you when you have to leave, not to come too late to your doctor appointment. So if you use Waze, there's no excuse anymore that you are stuck in traffic and too late to a meeting. And so one from our source, Crowdsource, most obvious thing is the active reporting, what you can see here. So you have one button on the app, and then you can report different incidents on the street. You can also do this hands-free by voice. You can report accidents, traffic jams, police, hazards on the roads. And so this is the most obvious thing, but we also track passively the drivers. And this is not only about the speeds for traffic, this is even if there's a new road. So if we see there's an area where we don't have recorded a road, and we see several people driving there, we start to record this, and then we inform our map editors community to look on this and to draw and to complete the map. So this happens all automatically. And to look, so as I said, Waze is completely crowdsourced. It is also the map. Like from the beginning, the first idea from Ehud was always that we have our own map, and we used to start really with a blank map and only what you see here, GPS points, which we record, so from the drivers. Today, we sometimes use from Google data or also open source data when we start with a new region. And above this comes the next layers, And these layers are the map editors. This is a community with more than 150,000 editors worldwide. And they draw the map in an online tool we have, which is the map editor. And above this is then the next layer, and this is all our Wazers, all our users driving, reporting actively, and also passively. We record their speed and if they're stuck in traffic. So this slide now explains how our community works, to be sure that not someone is just drawing a road which does not exist or makes some things here. We have a very advanced hierarchy of editors. So on the top of the hierarchy are our global champs. And these global champs, they have the full editor rights, and they control more or less the others. And they also teach the others, which could be then one layer up. Underneath them are the country managers. This are managers in the community owning a whole country, like Germany. And they also have the full right. So you see this hierarchy, and this hierarchy makes sure that not something happens which we don't like things like that someone renames some place to something not like, yeah. And we have 15 million map edits per month, and in average we had 150,000 map editors active. And to understand how fast we are, our map is worldwide recreated all 24 to 48 hours. It's the whole map of the world rewritten. There's no other map which is this fast. If I change something in Tel Aviv, it's live after half an hour. And we work very closely with our community. And this means also that we are very aware of very little local things. And for this, I picked out one example from São Paulo. In São Paulo, the city decided that accordingly to your license plate, you are allowed to enter the city for specific times. So this one from between, in the rush hours, between 7 and 10 a.m. in the morning and 5 to 8 p.m. in the evening. Accordingly to the end of your license plate, you are allowed to enter the city or not. So what we added then to Waze was a feature that the users in São Paulo can enter their license plate. And when they use Waze, we automatically give them the legal and fastest route to their destination, considering if they are allowed to drive today through São Paulo or they have to drive around São Paulo. And Waze Connected Citizen. So this is also something very local. We partner with cities around the globe. This means we share our data with them for free, like the reported accidents and hazards, and they share with us things like road closures, major traffic events like a marathon in the city, and closures visit, potholes, and construction sites. And we started this program only 1 year ago, but we are already partnering with 55 governments, municipalities, cities around the globe. And this is, for example, Rio de Janeiro, Los Angeles, Mexico City, Barcelona, Tel Aviv, and many more. And let's look at this video. This video we did 1 year ago. We were only 10 partners.
The thing I have always loved about Waze is that all the information is coming from the crowd. Even the maps themselves were completely crowdsourced, which most people don't know. Everything we do is crowdsourced. That's done by hundreds of thousands of people around the world who volunteer to help make sure that their map is accurate. As we grow, the more information we have everywhere in the world from our drivers. It's an incredible, incredible group of people.
The worst is yet to come from Hurricane Sandy.
When Hurricane Sandy hit, we had no idea that we could play a role in being helpful at all. We got a call on the Friday evening from the White House, and they said, you guys have a lot of users in that area. Is there any way we can reach out to them and see if we can get some information about what gas stations are open or what are closed? To our surprise, over the course of that weekend, we received about 10,000 responses. We were able to pass that information back to FEMA and the White House and make sure that people could get on their way. It was the first time that we saw ourselves in the possible role of being able to be more helpful than just saving time on the commute. And we realized it was something that we needed to build out. There was real demand and it was a need. Rio's traffic infrastructure is evolving very quickly, faster than it was prepared for. It's a very small infrastructure made for a smaller city that just keeps growing and growing and growing. One day we get a phone call from the head of Rio's Traffic Operations Center, and they wanted to turn to crowdsourcing.
In Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, traffic is a very important issue. We have almost 7 million people here. Implementing Waze was something that we've never saw before. From the first phone call that we have, 2 weeks later, we were there inside of Waze application with APIs, bringing to the operations center every information that we agreed to share.
There was a sense that it was magic because you were able to see what was happening where across the entire city. Each city, each country has unique mobility challenges. We're still in the phase right now of learning what are those challenges and how they're unique to each city. This is why we're working with 10 different cities, literally across the world, to make sure that we have a better understanding, the best understanding we can have around those different challenges. When you can combine citizen information that we bring to the table with the city information, what you have is an incredibly informed citizenship. Together, we'll be ready for anything that happens on the roads, whether it's a hurricane or a World Cup victory. With Waze's Connected Citizen platform, we're ready for the real-time city, because no one knows more about what's happening inside the city than the people who live there.
So, can we go to the next slide? Yeah. So we partner with cities, but we partner also already a longer time, since 2011, with broadcasters around the world and with TV stations. And this was actually, the broadcasters came to us, and this was 2011. We got a call from LA, from ABC7, and there was a road closure for the weekend of the 405, one of the most important highways. And they called us, and it's Hollywood calling you, and they called it, we have the weekend, the Carmageddon. This is how they called the closure of this highway. And they asked us if we can come and help. So we flew down to LA, and we were sitting there together with the head of news, and she was asking us, you have really a great app, but how can I make sure that I trust you? That these incidents on the roads are really there? We said, we don't know. And she told us, you know what, you select now 5 incidents on Waze, and I will send a helicopter and check these things. So we did this. We selected 5 incidents in LA, and one incident was a red sofa, which was reported to be on a highway. So they sent a helicopter, and all 5 incidents were there, including the red sofa was then big on the news and the traffic report. And in the beginning, they just used the Waze app, which I just projected on a big screen. Today, we have a special app on the iPad, which broadcasters are using for TV reports. This is not only in the US, this is used in Jakarta, in Kuala Lumpur, in almost whole South America, and in the US. And this is the last very short video about how this looks, that you see a traffic report, because you don't have it in Europe, right?
Interstate Tollway. Now, we told you about this crash on the Jane Addams Tollway eastbound near Roselle. Take a look at the Waze map. I'm going to try and get you around this because it is solid from before Barrington all the way to Roselle. It's going to take you 40 minutes if you're on 90, but if you take an alternate, such as Central Road, which is kind of the frontage road just north of 90, and use that, then get on at Roselle, you're going to save a lot of time. Only 14 minutes if you go that route, so much better to try that.
Okay, so we give out this app for free to broadcasters. They can use our app for free, use the data for free, but they have to mention us. This is the deal. They have other traffic provider where they pay a lot of money. We are for free. And to understand the value for us, for example, in LA, Alicia was the traffic anarchist. She has a show from 4:30 in the morning till 9, every 10 to every 20 minutes. We are on air, visible for 100,000 of people every day. And we're currently partnering with more than 100 broadcasters, which includes radio stations in the world. Yeah, and that's it so far. Thank you very much, and get Waze, outsmart traffic together.
Thank you very much, Jens. Just one very quick question. Where do you have all your developers sitting that develop, for example, the maps or all the IT background? Is it all based in Israel or is it all around the globe?
This is all based in Israel. The whole development is in Israel. It's in Tel Aviv.
How many people do you have there?
It's about 250.
Okay, and what exactly is their background? Because I think they must be very skillful in order to come up with a product like this. Do you acquire them from universities directly, or is it also military background? Or
it's Israel. Many have military background, or better to say, everyone has military background, of course. And many developers in Israel come from a special unit from the military, which is so for computer security. So they hunt online virtually. People, yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you, Jens.